Just do a brief check-in here and then we'll get going. Stand tall. Keep your eyes open or close them. Begin the process of bringing yourself into your body. Even though your body's trying to rev up, we want to settle it down, settle it in. So begins the practice of doing something we can take advantage of at any moment during the day. We don't need to make it complicated. We can keep it simple. Becomes a habit that we can rely on. And that can start to permeate throughout our day in virtually any situation. So as we're standing tall, we're just going to bring our attention to our feet. Whether or not you're wearing shoes, we're going to start by just kind of wiggling your toes, bringing your feeling, your sensation down into your toes with gentle movement. And then as we've done in the past with our hands, we're going to start the process of curling our toes underneath and then lengthening and expanding them, trying to separate the toes as much as we can without disturbing the rest of our body. And then simply closing and opening our toes, feeling as much surface area of our feet over the top of our floor, even if you have shoes on. It's kind of like when we would make a fist and then we would open up our hands and try to spread our fingers apart. It's that same process. Then we want to take it from our toes all the way through our foot, that separation, that lengthening of the foot, not just at the ball or the toes, but through the midfoot, and maybe even as far back to where your heels are. Let's do 2 more of those. Then from there, we'll move into heel and toe rockers, is up as high as we can on our toes, and then pulling those toes up as much as we can, rocking forward and backward. Do 2 more of those. And we'll keep the toes pulled up and we'll walk forward and backward on our heels in the space that you have. Pulling those toes up as high as we can, keeping the balls of the feet up or off the floor as well as you can. Finish the direction you're going in. And then just walk it out. And then as you're walking, we'll begin the process of hop-footed lizard touch. So our arms will be up and then reaching to the opposite foot in front and then behind. So you can continue to walk in place, moving forward and backward. You can work yourself in a circular pattern if you'd like. big reach to the ceiling as we're simultaneously reaching for our foot. One more on each side. Walking forward and backward, then we're just going to reach to the floor after every few steps. Moving forward and backward, taking one or two steps, then gently letting your fingers roll down to the floor. Maybe one more time. And as we stand tall, heel toe rockers again, but we're just going to try and make a circular pattern at the ankles. So we want to be loose in the knees to accommodate that rolling out rather than just straight up and down. Trying to engage more of the foot, more of the ankle. Two more. And we're going to alternately step back with each foot. The foot that steps back, that same side arm is going to reach down to the opposite foot. Stand tall, to take the other hand and reach down to the opposite foot. If you want, you can exaggerate the arm swing, bringing it up and over before you come down if you want to engage more of the body that way. One more time on each side. Back to walking forward and backward. This time we're as high on our toes as we can be. Finishing your direction and then walking out with a high hurdle step. So again, we're still moving forward and backward with our step, trying to bring that knee high up and over as we move forward and backward. And finish whatever direction you're moving in. Shake it off, grab a drink if you need it. We will need weights for our hands and bands, or a band. If you have multiple bands with different levels of tension, that would be working as well. We're going to do overhead reach. We're going to keep the forearms parallel and keep the palms back facing behind us. So we're just going to reach as high as we can over our heads without disturbing the alignment of our spine. Okay, so empty hands. If you want to use light weights to start, you can do that. We'll start in about 5 seconds here. Full range of motion in 2, 1. Here we go. Again, we're not shrugging the weight up, especially at that end range. Keeping those shoulders drawn down. striving to keep those arms as parallel as we can throughout that whole range of motion. Go about another 15 more seconds here. Two, one, and recover. Shake it loose if you need to. If you didn't have weight the first time, go ahead and grab some weight this time. If you had weight before, you can use the same weight, or if you want to go a little bit heavier, you can do that. Repeat the same movement in 10 seconds. Starting in 5, in 2, 1, here we go. Again, doing our best to keep our spinal alignment. We're not changing the alignment of our spine to accommodate the range of motion. Five more seconds. 2, 1, and recover. Still using weights, but this time we'll also add a band. Excuse me, let's just do without the weight and the band only. Band only, no weight. Then we'll add the two together the next round. So the band's anywhere between your elbow and your wrist. Where it rests will affect the feel a little bit. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Again, trying to keep those arms parallel. Palms facing behind you throughout that whole range of motion. And create as much tension on that band as you desire. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Now grab your weights, keep that band on. We'll repeat the same movement one more time. Start in 10 seconds. And be mindful of your body position as we put all these things together. Here we go. 2, 1, up we go. So you're paying attention to what's happening to your shoulders. Bring your attention to your feet as well. Are your feet firmly planted in the ground, giving you good base of support to work from? Fifteen more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Everything down on the floor. We will do squats next. If you want to wait up for squats, you can do that. We'll start in 20 seconds. Find your foot position. Starting in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Again, still keeping good spinal position as we sit and stand. Feet stay flat. We can even engage our hips Like trying to have that feeling of separating our feet as we sit and stand. 15 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to do a low walk sideways, right and left. If you want to have weight in your hands as you do this, you can do that, or you can be empty-handed and body weight only. Again, the premise is whatever position of low is, you're going to maintain that and you're just going to step side to side. We'll start in 5 seconds. In 2, 1, here we go. Again, we're not bobbing and weaving our upper body. We're keeping that as vertical as we can. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to put a band around our legs, somewhere around the height of your knees, either above or below, just above or just below. We will squat again, and if you want to use weight, you can use weight. Starting in about 10 seconds here. We want to resist the pull of the band on our knees. Here we go. 2, 1, and begin your sit and stand. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Keeping that band on, we're going to low walk again. And intermittently, we'll add a squat as we do our low walk. So again, if you want to have weight, you can. Weight is not required. But we're just going to intermingle a squat with our side stepping. Okay, I'll do a front view this time. Starting in 10 seconds. In 2, 1, here we go. Feet stay flat no matter what movement you're doing. Ten more seconds. 2, 1. Everything down on the ground. Grab a drink if you'd like it. Back to the beginning. So last time we had palms facing back. This time we'll have palms facing together or facing in. And we'll repeat the same movement we did the first time. You can have empty hands or weights in hand for the first movement. Either weights in hand or lightweight. Palms together. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Again, perfect position with your spine. We reach up, we're keeping the shoulders down. We're not exaggerating our head position, especially in the end ranges. 10 more seconds. 2, 1, and arms down. You can go with weight this time. If you used weight last time, you can go a little heavier. Weights only. Palms facing in, standing tall, starting in 10 seconds. Anchor those feet again. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. This probably feels like the most natural method of reaching overhead, as if we had something in our hands, holding it with both hands. If we're putting something on a shelf above our head. "15 seconds left. 2, 1, and weights down, bands around the forearms. Repeating the same movement. Trying to keep constant tension on that band, keeping the forearms parallel to one another. We'll begin in 10 seconds. Starting in 5, 2, 1. Here we go. "15 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Keeping that band, grabbing some weights again in hand. We'll combine the two together, palms facing in. Start in 15 seconds. Starting in 5, 2, 1. Here we go. "20 seconds left. 10 left. 3, 2, and 1. Back to legs. We're going to squat with or without weight. Starting in 15 seconds. Again, engage those hips. Keep the feet flat. Starting in 5 seconds. Regular squat. 2, 1. Here we go. 20 seconds left. 10, 2, 1, and side step. Low position, with or without weight. Handle that in the way you'd like. We'll begin in 10 seconds. Moving laterally, keeping your hips as low as you can. Okay, here we go. In 2, 1, and you can start. Again, we want the body to stay vertical. We're not tick-tocking our body. We're reaching with the lead leg, stepping close with the trail leg, keeping the body vertical. Ten seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Grabbing your band for your legs somewhere around your knees. We'll be squatting next again. You can use weight. As you did the first time. Start in 10 seconds. Starting in 5, 2, 1. Here we go. We're not allowing those knees to collapse from the tension of the band as we lower our hips. Engaging those hips to keep the knees over the feet. 20 more seconds. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Now we'll mix the squat in with the side step. Okay? With or without weight. We'll begin in 10 seconds. In 2, 1. Here we go. Fifteen more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Everything off. Grab a drink, catch your breath. Back to the upper body. So we had palms facing in, back, palms facing in. Now we'll do palms out or palms facing away. Trying to keep the forearms parallel as we reach overhead. We'll start in 10 seconds. Light weight or no weight. In 2, 1. Here we go. 15 more seconds. Three, two, and one. Either using weight or more weight than you did before. Same hand position. We'll start in 15 seconds. Starting in 5 seconds. 2, 1, here we go. Inhale and exhale. 20 more seconds. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Empty hands using the band around your forearms. Same hand position as we've been doing. We'll begin in 10 seconds. Again, try to keep tension on that band to keep your forearms parallel. Here we go. 2, 1, up, up, and away. 15 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Keeping the bands on, adding some weight into hands. Palms facing away. We'll start in 15 seconds. Starting in 5 seconds. 2, 1, here we go. Again, watch that shoulder shrug at that end range overhead. Keep those shoulders drawn down. Fifteen seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Everything off. Coming back to the squat. With or without weight. Squatting in 15 seconds. We'll start in 5 seconds. 2, 1, here we go. Twenty seconds left. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Low side stepping with or without weight. Finding that low position, trying to hold it there as you step side to side. Start in 10 seconds. In 5, 2, 1. Here we go. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Back to the squat with bands and optional weights in hand. Bands go around the knee level. Start in 10 seconds. In 2, 1. Here we go. Twenty more seconds. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Side step and squat mix with or without weight in hand. We'll go in 15 seconds. Starting in 5 seconds. 2, 1. Here we go. Twenty more seconds. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Everything off. Last group. So as we come back to the upper body, you have the choice of intermingling the palms away, palms in, or palms back. So for any of these, and we'll do it in the same sequence of how we used weights and bands and all that sort of stuff, but you can adjust the forearm position however you want. Here we go, 5 seconds. In 2, 1, and we'll begin. 20 more seconds. Three, two, and one. Using handheld weights only next. We'll begin in 15 seconds. Again, decide what arm position you want. We'll start in 5 seconds. In 2, 1, here we go. Feel those feet anchored to the floor as you reach overhead. We're not listing to one side or the other. We're not falling back or leaning back. Nice and straight. Fifteen more seconds. 10 left. 5, 2, 1. And weights down, grabbing a band. Starting in 10 seconds. In 5, 2, 1. Here we go. Try to keep those forearms as parallel as we can throughout the whole range of motion, keeping the body upright. We're not disturbing the alignment in our spine to accommodate the arm movement. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Keep the band on. Add extra weight if you prefer. Last movement. Starting in 15 seconds. Starting in 5 seconds. 2, 1. Here we go. Fifteen more seconds. Ugh. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, that was failure. Last time with the legs. Starting with the squat. Nothing wrong with failure. Just fail fast, fail forward. Keep moving. Starting in 10 seconds. In 5, 2, 1. Here we go. Twenty more seconds. 10 seconds left. 2, 1. Low side step, moving sideways. We'll start in 15 seconds. Starting in 5 seconds, find that low position. 2, 1, here we go. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Band around the legs. Squats with weight if you prefer the weight. Otherwise, just use a band. Start in 10 seconds. In 5, 2, 1. Here we go. 20 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Mixing the side step with the squat. We'll start that process in 15 seconds. Beginning in 5 seconds. 2, 1. Here we go. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All your gear off to the side. Grab a drink, catch your breath. Kind of walk it out, catch your breath, get that blood recirculated. Okay, pick one foot, toe on the floor, and then roll the ankle on that foot, both directions. As much range of motion as you can, keeping the knee and the hip above it as loose as possible to accommodate the foot. If you need to hold on to something to expand that range of motion, you can do that. One more time in each direction. And then we'll switch to the other leg. One more time in each direction. Feet together, hands just above the knees, circular knees together. Again, experimenting with that transitional point, becoming comfortable with starting and stopping at different points and reversing direction. One more time in each direction. Keep the hands there. We'll separate the feet and we'll independently roll the knees. One more time in each direction. And then standing tall. Feet about hip width apart, hands on hips, and we'll roll the hips around circular. Again, experimenting with that change of direction position. One more time to each direction. We'll keep the hands on hips, keep the hips stationary, and then we'll roll the trunk over the top of the hips. Inhaling and exhaling, capturing our breath, staying relaxed. Nice and easy. One more time in each direction. And arm circles together forward, both at the same time. One more in this direction, then we'll reverse it. One more time. Standing tall, taking the head from neutral, just yielding to the right, just letting it dip over to the right. We're not forcing it. We're just relaxing, letting it tilt to the right. Still able to breathe as we hold this position. Back to neutral. Gently take it to your left. All the while inhaling and exhaling. Back to neutral. Tilting back. Our eyes are gazing up. Back to neutral. Tilting forward. Our eye gaze is down now to the floor. Without rounding our backs. Back to neutral. Turning to look to your right as far as you comfortably can. It's a little bit more active process than the others. But be gentle with it. Still breathing. Back to neutral. Turning to look to your left. Back to neutral. Reaching tall with a big inhale. And as we exhale, stretching those arms out and taking them down. And we will call that one done. Good job.